How I lost 30 pounds using these 3 simple manifestation techniques. Welcome back, my friend. My name is Lance and I help you to level up and live your best life. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 manifesting techniques that I used to lose 30 pounds in 90 days. Now let's jump into it. Manifesting technique number 1 is the law of assumption. Law of assumption is by Neville Goddard, if you're unfamiliar. He's one of the new thought thinkers of the early 20th century. And if you were to boil his teachings down to their essence, it would be that your imagination, your wonderful human imagination, as he would say, is what we use to manifest. We imagine a scene in our mind of the wish fulfilled with as many details, as much reality as we can impart into it. And the next step is in feeling a very strong emotional feeling that would correlate to the wish being fulfilled. So for my example here, I visualized myself as my ideal weight. And I looked out the eyes of that version. I literally was inside that version of myself, moving and interacting in that mental movie of mine through their eyes at that weight, having all the energy, having all the good health that I would have at this particular version weight. Now, this is the base foundational layer. Now, the other 2 techniques are going to build on this, so be sure to watch till the end because we're going to be mixing all 3 of these techniques together to create this powerful result, and I've done it myself right here. But in any case, let's move on to technique number 2, and if you're enjoying this video so far, please do me a favor and smash that like button. It really helps me to know that you resonate with the content, and it helps spread this message far and wide on YouTube so that more people can learn how they can change their lives. And if you're interested in content like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another one of our videos, and comment down below. Share your wisdom with us. What have you manifested successfully in your life already? Or what are the things you want to manifest? You know, I believe in creating a community around this idea and topic so that we can all help each other grow and have a better life. Now, let's move into technique number 2, identity shifting. And this builds on law of assumption. Not only are we going to visualize and assume the wish fulfilled in our scene, but we're also going to consider shifting our identity. Now, what is the identity in this case? That's what we think, the thoughts we have, the feelings we have, the beliefs we hold about ourselves and about reality and about what's possible for us, and the decisions and actions that we take. So that together creates an identity. And what we can do is we can begin to, imagine a new identity, a new version of self that has the traits and qualities that we want, that is already manifested and living the life we want. So for my example, I began to imagine what I would think, feel, act, and believe if I was the version of myself that was already that good weight. The weight I wanted to be. And I realized that version of myself would be intensely interested in nutrition, in diet, in biohacking, in exercising, in learning all things about the body so that he could optimize his health, so that he could lose weight in the most healthy and efficient way. So I started to do that. I started to live as if I was that identity, right? And what that means is we're living this identity, we're making that choice every moment of every day. When it's time for lunch, and we have the choice between going to a fast food place or maybe going and getting something healthy, we stopped and I paused and I said, okay, what would that version of me make? What decision would he make? He would know that he needs to eat something healthy, something that's aligned with a diet that works for him. And for that version, that healthy diet was keto, which is a high-fat, moderate protein diet with little to no carbohydrates. So I wouldn't be going to McDonald's to get fries. I would be going somewhere where I could get some meat, maybe Chipotle, get me a meat bowl, put a little cheese, put a little lettuce on it, put some steak and some carnitas. And that sounds great to me and it's healthy and aligned with my diet. So we want to live our lives by that identity, by that version of ourself. And by doing that and by making that choice every moment of every day, we are aligning ourselves with that and aligning ourselves with the manifestation, in this case, losing weight, that we want to have. Now, step number 3. Technique number 3 is shifting yourself to a parallel reality, a parallel version of self. Now, not to get too esoteric here, but I'm going to anyway. We live in a very weird, interesting universe, and one that shouldn't exist by all accounts, but that's another video. Quantum reality tells us, quantum physics tells us that everything exists in a probability soup, that before the universe was, there was the unmanifested, to borrow a Buddhist term, the unmanifested. Right? And within the unmanifested is the potential and probability for anything that you could possibly imagine to manifest itself. And all around us are parallel universes, parallel realities, where all these different probabilities and all these different things have manifested. Well, we can tune into a version of self existing in a parallel timeline, a parallel reality, where that version of self already is what we want to be. So for my case, I can tune into a parallel reality where I am the weight that I want to be. My body is healthier, I have more energy, I feel great, I feel better, and I don't have any of the health problems that currently affect this body. And the way we do that is by realizing that we are an antenna, okay? Our being is an antenna. We can send frequencies, but we can also tune into frequencies to receive, kind of like a radio dial, you know, one of those CB radios. We can both send a message, but we can also receive messages. So in order to quantum leap or to shift to a different timeline version, first we have to meditate, right? We have to calm ourselves, calm our mind, body, and soul, calm our frequency and our vibration. So we stop sending so much, because we can't receive if we're busy sending. Like a phone conversation, you can't hear if you're busy talking. So we meditate to calm ourselves. Then we imagine a version of self similar to the identity shifting, but the identity shifting wasn't real, okay? That was just us imagining a version. Here, we are going to take that imagined version, understand that he exists somewhere in some timeline, and then begin to calm my frequency and vibration, and consciously, with a conscious intention and a strong feeling, align my being with the version of self that exists on that timeline. And when I begin to do this, it's going to begin to change my frequency, my vibration, and who's currently in this body. And the more I can live from that version of self, the more I can imagine that that timeline version has merged with this body and this consciousness, and that he is going to be making the decisions because I am now him, I have become him. Then you have quantum leaped into a new version of self. And then this reality, right, because reality is nothing more than a reflection of what you're putting out, of your current being state. Well, because we've changed our internal being state, this 3D reality around us has no choice but to conform to who we are now busy identifying as. So by applying these 3 techniques and applying them together with synergy, you can make the changes you want in your life and to your body. You know, within reason. You can't make yourself 50 feet tall, for example, right? But we can lose weight. We can get stronger. We can be more attractive and charismatic. We can become more confident. We can become less angry, less anxious, less depressed. We can level ourselves up to a version of self that lets us live our best life. Because in order to have the best life, the best partner, you know, the best job, career, business, family, whatever it is you want in your life, you have to embody those frequencies within yourself first. You cannot manifest money into your life if you're busy having scarcity and poverty within. Same way you cannot manifest the perfect partner if you yourself are not the perfect partner. You will only get in life that which you are. So by using these techniques, you can change who you are. You can change how you're showing up to reality, and then reality is going to show up differently for you. Well, my friend, those are the 3 manifesting techniques that I use to lose 30 pounds, and the weight is still coming off. I'm looking forward to the end of the year where I'm going to be at my ideal weight. I'm going to be fit, strong, and healthy. And let me know in the comments below, what are you going to try these techniques for in your life? What kind of change do you want to see in yourself? Or what changes have you already made with these techniques? Share your wisdom below. I want to create a community where we can all share information and help each other grow. Because just in having one conversation with someone on the internet, a random person, you could have a breakthrough and an aha moment that unblocks what it is you're trying to create in your life. I hope you choose to make it a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Much peace to you, my friend.